Comrade, what is the reason for the...
Can we ask somebody else to...
Just one question, Comrade. What is the reason for the disastrous
ask
setback in
others to
Indian
speak.
politics? Is there any kind of...
Well, certainly we cannot get away from the setbacks that we have faced, but that is not part of the political resolution. That is discussed in detail in the political organization report will be placed before the delegates today. There will be a discussion on it, and I'm sure once we reach certain conclusions about this, we will come to you.
Kindly ask one question, one person, then others get the chance.
Mrs. Brinda, the scattered opposition vote is a major way for Modi, the officials BJP. What is the chance and possibility of a unified anti-BJP bloc in that? In the left-initiated process, what would be the position of Mamata Banerjee and Shiv Sena like opposition parties?
No, I understand that these are issues which are very important and relevant for you to ask. But as far as I'm concerned, I have answered that question with one line, that as far as elections are concerned, we have not gone into any details in this political resolution. Our aim is very clear, which I have spoken about a little while ago, and the maximization of votes against the BJP, that is our effort. How that works out, who is going to be at that time of elections, is something for that point. Right now, unlike many other parties, the communists believe in taking up the issues of the suffering of the people now, today, right now, what is happening to the people of India. Are we going to be waiting for some election and some people to come together and do this today? What is our task today? Our task today, as I have said, is to go among the people, to mobilize as many sections, social sections, think beyond political parties, social sections, to come out against this toxic regime. That is our focus right now. And that is what we are concentrating on. The importance of strengthening the party, the importance of, after all, communists are, we can't exist without our links with the people. So that is the main focus right now. Now, एक कहावत है ना हिंदी में, यहाँ से पकड़ो उधर से पकड़ो एक ही कान है. So point is this, you are limiting this entire thing to what is going to happen in the elections. I can understand. Those are very important questions. Today we are in 2022 April. This political resolution is for the next 3 years. There are a number of tasks which we have drawn out. So among those tasks, one is what is going to be our approach during elections. When that happens, definitely you will know how we go about it. But right now, the importance that I would like you also to appreciate is that this is a battle of minds also, not just of votes. What is happening today? What happened in Uttar Pradesh? Where a priest with 4 policemen sitting on his car as his protectors, he gives a call openly, according to the reports, that he will sexually assault Muslim women. And people are cheering that. Can we tolerate such a thing happening in India? That is what we are concerned about. Who will come out to fight that? Yes, we will be there. The red flag will be there. And whoever else comes out to fight that, yes, please come. We are prepared on all these issues. Whoever comes, political or NGO or social movement, that is our approach. education. That is the basic issue.
Comrade. Hello, comrade.
Huh?
Yes.
Batao?
Here. Manoj.
Oh, sorry, he was speaking.
BJP has been adopting a policy of anti-democratic, ignoring people's protest in the crucial issues and democratic setting. So what do you think that how seeking organized protest is alter the policies of or resist the policies of
I think that's a very relevant question, and that is one of the issues which is being discussed very seriously as part of the political resolution, and I think it will be taken even further when we discuss the organizational issues and gaps which may be there. So there are various areas where right now since 2019, in spite of COVID, there have been so many struggles which have taken place, and we have seen the impact of those struggles also in forcing the BJP to reverse some of its policies. But it is no doubt on the offensive, and that offensive can only be met by a counter mobilization on people's issues, on issues of secularism, because we cannot compromise on any of these things. That is a very critical area of our work. So how far we succeed in this attempt of reaching out to new sections of people, I think that is a very big challenge before us. But I think the entire party congress and the body of delegates, they are resolved that the importance of strengthening our party base, our politics, our identity, our alternative vision for India, that is a very important aspect.
you highlighted the fact that the participation of women delegates in the discussion. So you also mentioned that this is about the kind of operation that is this commission. In that context, you being one of the stalwarts of the women's movement in this commission, what is your position on gender justice when it comes to places of worship?
Gender justice?
When it comes to places of worship.
As far as places of worship and gender justice is concerned, I think it is very important. Already we have seen what happened in the Sabrimala case. We have seen what happened in the case of so many of the masjids. I think our party's position on this has been very clear, that this is something which has to be resolved through discussion and debate. The Supreme Court came to a conclusion, and it had said that as far as the Sabrimala issue is concerned, the right of women to go into the temple, the Supreme Court upheld that right, and the Kerala government made it very clear that in that case we were upholding what the Supreme Court had said and implemented it. It was not the CPIM which had gone to the court. So on such issues where there are different types of sentiment which are involved, it is very, very important to discuss these issues so that the rights of women, the legitimate rights of women, worshippers, women believers, I'm not talking about other public spaces where it is constitutionally guaranteed, but I'm talking about places of worship which are normally reserved for believers. So I think already what the Kerala government had said at the time, that we would like a dialogue, we would like a debate, because the constitutional position is very clear and no places are outside the pale of gender justice and gender equality. But I would also like to add that these are not issues which have been discussed in the political resolution, and they have not either been raised in the discussion by any delegate. So what you have asked is actually outside the pale of the discussion of the political resolution. But since Jomi, you are an old friend and you know what the political understanding of the party has been, I I answered your question.
So, I'm happy that you mentioned Sabrimala. The point is that the party and in the CC review of the election also clarified that the Sabrimala lost votes. The party lost votes on that. The point is that now that there is no stay on the sort of the Supreme Court judgment, and can general justice wait for the court to decide, the court will settle that matter? Finally, looking that, can we wait?
Jomi, I cannot go into that discussion right now. Today we are talking about the political resolution. We are talking about the issues which were raised as part of the discussion on the political resolution. Certainly at some other time, generally, how do communists take forward the issue of gender justice where there are so many complications and different trends? What are the problems that we face in taking it forward? I think that's a very important point of discussion which we can certainly have at any time that you would like. But right now, we are focused on the political resolution, and right now what the women delegates from all the states had focused on was the absolute barbarity, the barbaric nature of the assault on women, and particularly on poorer sections of women. I mean, the barbaric nature of it. I mean, can you imagine a priest giving a call that if such and such happens, I personally will go and sexually assault a particular community's women? This is what is happening in India. And this is what we want, a much bigger democratic movement for the party also to take up these issues in a very strong and powerful way.
After seeing Prime Minister of India,
I beg your pardon?
after visiting Prime Minister of India, Chief Minister of Kerala said that even if the result of the social impact study against the project of SilverLine, the government is determined to implement the same. But at the same time, Minister Sitaram is saying that we have to wait until the study is ends.
Please understand, there is no difference in the party whatsoever on the projects for development which are being taken by the Kerala government. There is absolutely no difference in the party. Let's be very, very clear about that. Absolutely none. There's no difference in what was said either. But the question here is, which I want to place before you, you know that the environment impact assessment is a thorn in the flesh of every corporate. You know that, na? You know that the first law which Narendra Modi ji, the Prime Minister of India, tried to bring in the Lok Sabha was to remove that entire section of environment impact assessment from the Land Acquisition, Relief and Rehabilitation Act. You know that, na? Today in India, there are at least 8 BJP governments who have illegally, I would say illegal, because this is a central act, but they have, using their majorities in the state assemblies, they have removed that whole environment impact assessment. So today, for example, in many of the states where the BJP rules, they'll take over land of Adivasis, they'll take over projects, they'll impose projects, but there's no environmental impact assessment. Kerala government has said, we want to have an environmental impact assessment as per the law. The Kerala government, the Chief Minister of Kerala, is going through the due process. He has gone and met the Prime Minister. He has said this is a joint project. You please come out and say what is to be done and not done. You give us whatever requirements are there, we will do. I want to tell you one thing very, very clearly. As far as the people's interests are concerned, the Kerala government has made it clear in the Navam Kerala document that all the issues which are being raised by people, the legitimate concerns of people in Kerala will 100% be addressed. There is absolutely no idhar udhar agar magar about that. If you kindly read Comrade Thomas Isaac's piece, which is there on the website of the Central CPIM, when all these arguments are given, which I will not go into now, but all the arguments are given, you kindly see those arguments. And a very important paragraph in that is, we are committed to address the concerns of the people. Please, don't fall into someone else's political framework and trap. Don't do that. Don't do that.